Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Swati, and welcome back to my channel. Where if the book is nice, it's this side today. So if the book is nice, we read it twice. I just want to chat with you guys. So I've been promising making a video vlog reading about books since a very long time. I've been saying I'll read this particular series or that series or do a thriller vlog, etc. And I have not been delivering on the promise. What happens, guys, is I start with a book and then I'm all decked up and with makeup and I have two words to say. Then when I'm off makeup and I'm actually getting into the book and I am at a position to actually discuss it out with you, part of it is spoiler and part of it is I'm just not in a presentable form at that point of time to actually say something about it. For example, I recently tried to film a thriller vlog, but what actually happened was I read one book, I updated on the camera. When I started the second one, it was a little later in the day. I just forgot to update it, and then I finished the book, and then next day I finished another book, but I have footage for only one book. So I'm trying to work out my kinks and getting into habit of actually vlogging during the day, which should be a regular process like everybody else does it. So I want to get into practice of making vlogs. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pick up single books which are popular or which everybody in the bookosphere wants to know about and sit down in my library room and finish one at a time and then update you guys. So that doesn't sound as hard as it feels like, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. What the thrillers I'm talking about is, first, I read The Drift by C.J. Tudor, and it was a 4-star read for me, contrary to what popularly it is not doing so well. But I thought it was a good book and I gave it 4-star. Next, I read The Passenger by John Mars and I gave it a 5-star, and I absolutely missed out on vlogging about the book. Now the next book that I read was The Five Survive, and it was the perfect book for a book vlog, because what happened is I started with the 5-star. Till the middle of the book I went stuck with my 5-star, and I was thinking, oh damn, this is a 5-star book, I need to vlog. And then it suddenly started going downhill. Till the end of the book it became so ridiculous that it ended up being a 3-star, if not less. So that was a 3-star, and now I am here with another book which I'm gonna blog here right now, Fourth Wing. Now this is doing the rounds on BookTube. People are loving it, people are hating it. Now I absolutely trust Regan's rating on fantasy book because she is our fantasy queen. So she kind of hated it and gave it 1-star. So I think she gave it 1-star, at least below 3-star for sure. She said there is not much of world building in it and there is just romance. So I am okay with romantasy, which is fantasy with the weight towards romance, and I think I'll give it a go. So I have acquired the version which is with the sprayed edges of the dragons, and I have done some of recoloring of my own to make it a little bit more special. It's not very special to everybody else's eyes. It's like I spoiled the sprayed edges, but I like it, so that's that. Let's talk about this book for a second. So 20 years old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, as she was her father's daughter. Her father was into libraries and books, so was she. She wanted to live a quiet life between history and books. But her mom was the commanding general and she pushed her to go into the elite quadrant of dragon riders. So she was pushed. She could not do anything about it. Her father passed away a few years ago, and the grief is still there. But that being said, to appease her mother, she does try to go to the dragon quadrant. Now I have already read 10% of the book. I'm on chapter number 5, and till this time we are more or less introduced with a lot of people. I have to say the death toll in this book is pretty high. So we already lost a candidate that we were introduced to and kind of liked. So this is a war college. The main two male interests of the book have already been introduced. I think this is going to be a love triangle, but we'll wait for it to happen. There is Xander, who Mira, her sister, kind of said be wary of, and when she was going to the quadrant, she had a look at him and noticed what a hunk he was, soon to be jolted back to senses with the confirmation that this was the Xander she was supposed to avoid. Next, there is a childhood best friend who is again a hunk. His name is Dane, and he is doing all that he could to protect her and help her out because she is a childhood friend. We are just seeing the perspective of Violet in these chapters, so I don't know where he stands with Violet, but while Violet does consider him a best friend, and also kind of sees and notices that he is good looking and extremely gorgeous. That's the part of the story that I have come into, and I'm on chapter 5, and I'll be reading it right now in my library. So this vlog is going to be me just sitting on my library carpet and reading my book. I might not go out because I plan to finish it as quickly as possible. I might not go out and show you some interesting stuff, but I think will have decent discussions about the book itself. So let's begin.
The plan set forth in today's briefing. It is not this general's opinion that the children of the rebellion's leaders should be forced to witness their parents' executions. No child should watch their parent put to death.
So it's the next day, and I got up early to read Fourth Wing. I have already finished chapter 10, so I'm around 130 pages in, and my thoughts now are revolving between Xaden, Dane, and Violet. Xaden, Dane, and Violet. So basically, Dane is doting on Violet like anything, and it is kind of obvious that he likes her. Whereas Xander, who is supposedly interested in killing her, kind of is giving her mixed signals. He is giving her hints or just pushing her in the right direction to finish the obstacle courses, test, whatever the students are being put in this book. And it has quite well formed world building. I think the world is fascinating, only except for the ridiculous death toll in this book. I mean, every hurdle you kind of lose one or two people, and because it happens so often, the impact of death toll is actually very miss for me. I don't feel as emotional tied to other characters as much as our main group, and the writing is good. So it has all been put together. The writing is such that this is a compulsive read, and I understand where the hype is coming from. A very, very, very enjoyable book, and even though I understand that the magic system and the dragons has not yet appeared, So which can make sense, because after the war college aspect of the book, maybe there is a war. Right now it's just a romantasy for me. There is slow burn, and the Dane's doting and his affection is very evident, and he's just a cinnamon bun roll, and he's, you kind of fall in love with him immediately. But Xander is, I think, will be the main protagonist here, because it'll be just so much fun for opposites to get attracted to each other. Uh, that is my prediction. But let's see what happens after, say, 10 more chapters. I'll get back to you after I've finished about 100 more pages. Hey, so it's Sunday today, and I'm on my read of Fourth Wing, and I'm on chapter 21. So I'm almost halfway through, and I'm loving it. So Violet has just one theory, that she is not going to die today. So she is taking one step at a time, and finally by chapter 20 we finally have dragons. There were obstacle courses and training and combat, but we didn't have dragons. So the dragons just showed up in these last 10 chapters, and I was amazed by them. They are made so nice. So what basically happens in this story is the dragons bond with the riders. These riders in the war school, they are competing against each other for the attention of the dragon who bonds with them. And the story is, this book has typical chosen one trope, and Violet Sorrengail is a typical chosen one who fared through all her combat, and somehow she, because she is so tiny and puny, she cannot fight with people as much as you would like. So she overcomes every obstacle with wit, and the bonding is amazing for her. So during threshing, which is the process where the dragons bond with the cadet, Violet saves a little one, and the biggest dragon in the threshing bonds with her because of her perseverance. There's a lot going on, and the magic system is opening up, and I'm enjoying it. The hate between her and Dale, her and Zayden, is again changing pace. Dane is coming out of a little bit too protective. Also, he doesn't believe in Violet, whereas Zayden is doing all his best for private reasons to take care of her. This seems like it will be a love triangle, and the story is progressing amazingly. I have heard people comment that this is a fantasy book. If you have read any fantasy book, you have read this, because all the tropes are very typical. That being said, the writing is very good, and the characterization and the placing of plot is very nice. There's nothing unique here, but I think this is a very fun one to read. So instead of going into spoilers, let me continue my read, and I'll update you after I have read 10 more chapters. So stay tuned. So now I'm on chapter 31. It's the last leg of the book. So this was majorly a setup situation. The war school was challenging, but it's progressing well, and they've been a slew of cast of the character. There is very high body count in this book. As many cadets which came into the view also died. It is light on your emotions. That being said, not all the emotions. The best part is that it got steamy, and I will not give any spoilers, but the romance part of the book has really caught up, and the fantasy is still continuing. I think, I'm not so sure, but I think this book will be, it's about to be finished. So book will be just the college, and maybe the next book would be actually war front. So I don't know. There are a lot of places where you can explore conflicts, but those are easily maneuvered over. I will give you a final review as book is over. So happy reading. So the hype is real for this book, you guys. I just finished it and I'm crisp out of reading this, and I cannot feel more elated about this. The social media is rife with all the comments and people going excited about it and everything, and the hype is real. The big talk is crazy about this book. Instagram is crazy about this book, and so am I. If you have read fantasy in your childhood or in your past, and this feels like a love letter to fantasy. It brings out all the memories of games, Divergent series, Twilight series. It is actually a fantasy romance, or romantasy as we lovingly call it. The character arc of the main protagonist Violet was amazing. She started from a meek little girl who was not strong enough to become a dragon rider, and how she fared through her trials and tribulations with wit and wisdom. The cast is young and hot, and everybody is extremely hot. And did I mention hot? So that was a description, but yeah, it young love feels so fresh and energetic, and so did the whole of this book. There was a major battle at the end of the book, but the best part was the last paragraph. I mean, the twist this book threw on the last ball of the game, it bowled me over. It was so good. So I'm trying not to give spoilers, because this is a book which is must read and I don't want to spoil anybody for this. So go ahead and pick this up. This received 5 stars. So that's all for today, folks. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do over here. Watch my other videos on my channel, and I really appreciate anybody who is taking out the time to watch my videos. Thanks again. Bye bye.